says, while I've agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. In court, some startling statements.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that the statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
How do you feel about Gunna?
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna is a rat and he's done this and done that.
But see, let me try to help the attorney clarify that a little simpler.
Okay.
Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Gunna, first of all, for all of you who are listening, you have different types of attorneys. You got attorneys that are trial lawyers. You got attorneys that are plea lawyers. You got attorneys that are lawyers who just practice law on a criminal base. The only thing they want to do is satisfy a case.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Mr. What's his name was saying. The lawyers sometimes what people don't understand is sometimes your lawyer can take a plea for you. And when he present that plea to you, he's gonna tell you everything convincing to make you think that that plea is what you need to take.
Mm-hmm.
And you being the type of person that Gunna is, you trust your lawyer. Gunna is not a street kid. He's not a kid that's down like that. So if his lawyer make it sound appealing to him, he's gonna believe that because he trusts his lawyer. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, what you all don't know is Gunna has a recorded plea.
Mm-hmm.
And in his recorded plea, he states, I'm not taking a plea deal because I'm not leaving my brother in jail. They just didn't let y'all hear that part.
So it's a recording that says that?
Yeah, so what his lawyer did was his lawyer agreed to the alpha plea for him not to have to testify, for him not to have to do nothing to be released from this case. Right now, Gunna can separate himself from this case permanently. Guess how?
How?
Just by doing his community service. Once he finishes his community service, he's done with this case.
So has he done any of it yet?
I don't have a clue. I told him 4 times you need to start doing that community service and get it over with, so you can be done with this case. See, anytime you take a plea, once you satisfy that plea deal, you through with the case. You through with your case.
Because he doesn't even have, he didn't have that long probation things like those other ones had.
No. No, because see, he took pleas on a different note. He didn't take pleas, you know, understand this. She asked him, this was her question to him. This is what got everybody thrown off because they stopped listening after she asked him this question. She said, is YSL a business and a game? That should have sent a red flag up to everybody then. Why would she ask him something like that?
Because it's two-part question. So
Thank
then
you.
the answer in the first part, she added
There you
this.
go. There you go. Now, just like the attorney said, the only thing he was told to do was say yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Don't you know if I say, okay, Sylvia, everything I ask you, I want you to say yes, or yes, sir, or yes, Mr. Williams, or yes, Big Jeff, or whatever. I can see him right now and say, Sylvia, the sky blue, what you gonna say?
Yes.
Sylvia, do you drive a car?
Yes.
She didn't follow it up by saying, so what you're saying is you are openly admitting that you are a YSL gang member. She didn't ask him that. So what the home at? Then she also said, nor do you have to testify for the state or whoever else, this, that, and the other. And if so, if upon being asked to testify, like the lawyer saying, he can be subpoenaed to testify. Still. But guess what stipulation they put in his plea?
What?
All he got to do is say, I plead the fifth, and they can't ask him no more questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So what at home at?
But people don't understand it. They just...
Oh, yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in on the YSL State RICO case in Georgia. But according to Young Thug's father, Big Jeff, he's saying it's no longer a RICO case. And I'm going to add links in the description from infamous Sylvia YouTube channel where she did this interview with him, man. And I've been seeing her name like pop up on Twitter every once in a while since I've been following everything going on with the case. But she been doing her thing over there and she had him come on and speak. And it was a lot more said. He got to talking about a lot of details, a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Atlanta, his history with Fonnie Willis, even said he's worked with her personally because he's taking her money for the YSL Mundo case back in the day. Said that they were asked to actually donate money to her campaign to run for DA, but they could not do it because they were already committed to vote paying and donating for the other side. And it get deep out there in Atlanta from what he's saying. You got to watch that whole interview to get all that because it was a lot more said. But the part that hit the media today, where he said he loves Gunna and nothing Gunna said can hurt their case. And back last December, we saw what Gunna took the plea deal at. And like I said before, and the streets gonna be mad at me again, the gangsters, my street niggas, my members. When I say this, we gotta wait and see. They killed me in the streets for this. They killed me on YouTube for this. I said he's technically not telling and snitching until everything come out because it might not be used in the courtroom. I don't trust the laws. I don't trust the judges. I don't trust the lawyers. I don't trust this entire slave catcher system that was created to lock niggas up at all. But in the streets, the hood, the block, when they see that video right there, in the beginning, this is why they said it. Is YSL a gang? That's all they going for. They don't care if he said a rap group first. Then when they say, hey, I'm aware of crimes that they committed, niggas gonna say, yeah. But Young Thug's father, y'all heard right there, they can't use it, it can't hurt. He's not supposed to have to come on the stand and agree to anything or tell anything. if he is subpoenaed to come to court, he could just plead the fifth. So there's no point to even subpoena him to court and everything like that. Now, he said there's nothing that Gunna said that can hurt the case. He said Gunna not street like that. That's what he said. He's not that type of guy, so he don't know how this situation works with these lawyers, where they'll just try to get you to say some quick stuff. And they basically ran a trick play on him where he didn't know that he was going to have to go in the courtroom in that moment and be ready for that. But that's how it go in the streets. When you sign up for that, you're going to be expected to perform right there on the spot, because you don't get redos, you don't get do-overs. Me, I say, telling is telling, admitting the crimes in the courtroom, saying that y'all is a gang and you know about crimes. They said Jeffrey Williams' name. You said, oh, I was in the car, all that. The streets gonna call it telling. They ain't gonna see it no other way, because they say you're helping them people do their job. They supposed to be doing their job without you. He said that Gunna can't separate himself from this once he goes and does his community service. He spoke a lot more things into existence also of he said how this case came about, said the history with Funny Willis and different people in Atlanta, said she's actually from LA and she comes from a gang background and gang culture out there, so she's kind of pushing this type of RICO case in Atlanta. These things ain't really going her style of indicting people and everything like that. And I'm gonna tell you like this right here, bro, I'm still gonna wait and see. I don't agree with niggas cooperating. I don't agree with telling. It's just something I stand on as a man with morals and principles. My standards, if I signed up for something, I agreed to something, I'm waving a flag of it, I'm claiming, I'm championing it, we getting rich off this, I gotta go take my consequences also. We see several members get removed. His father also spoke on how a lot of these people should have never even been put in this case with Young Thug. Just because they from his neighborhood, just because they supposed to know him and things like that, they putting cases in that wasn't even further to had nothing to do with YSL, just taking people crimes and letting them, hey, y'all be a part of this YSL RICO too, because y'all that this ain't got nothing to do with Thug. Also, he said that Young Thug's brother Funk, the judge gave him 9 years, but he said he gonna be out in a couple years because the state law in Georgia is if they violate their probation term, that you give them 2 years. And I did think like, man, they gonna give him the full 9 on that. But he said, nah, the judge was just putting on. He called the judge out. He said he got a lot of receipts. He said a lot of the evidence that they supposed to have got thrown out, and they really just reaching now. But y'all heard what he said about Gunna. He said, hey, nothing he said can harm them. Nothing he said can hurt Young Thug case or nothing like that. The streets gonna feel different about it, and that's just how this game go. I did want to come update y'all on that. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all at 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.